Hey everybody, here looking at the Mid-Tower Deluxe. Been a while since I did a video on it. Yesterday I guess I could say I modernized the case a little bit. Yes, this computer case here is 8 years old as of 2015. Got it in May 2007. Hard to believe this thing is 8 years old. The computer itself is not, but the case sure is. It's seen several upgrades over the years. One big one is the side panel. Another would be the temperature readouts and extra ports on the front. Another one would be a giant hole in the side near the hard drives with a window screen for ventilation. And of course, you know, the water cooling system that sits on top. That's been up there since what, 2011. But anyways, as I mentioned, this was a $29 case from 2007. And for a $29 case, it's built very sturdy. I mean, I've seen lots of cases that are in the the low price area, and most of them are really cheaply made. They're real flimsy. You know, they have sharp edges in them and they'll cut you real quickly. Thin metal all throughout. Not very good quality. But this one here is built pretty sturdy. It's actually a Zoxide brand case, from Zoxide.com. It was called the X-Static-II. And some of you may wonder why I've been hanging on to this case for so long. This is in regards to the design, or at least the stock design, airflow is not all that great. This is the latest version of the case that has a 120mm fan hook up in the back. You can put an 80, a 92, or a 120 back there, which of course I got a 120. But there wasn't much of any airflow at the front of the machine because there's no vents on the front of it. So I added a few. I got the nice vent back here, and the side panel itself offers good airflow. So yeah, $29 case. Came with AC97 audio and only USB 2.0 jacks. It didn't even have USB 3 because obviously USB 3.0 was probably not even a thought yet in 2007. Now HD audio was getting pretty much to be the norm back then, so it was kind of behind on the audio aspect. In 2010 I added this readout here, which I did modify the what it says, and no, the water temperature is not 72 degrees Celsius. That is a defunct thermistor. It is messed up. The resistance is not correct, or at least it's not the correct thermistor. It's actually a replacement, and it's not the correct type. No, the water temperature in this thing is not 72 degrees C. Now the hard drive temperature is correct. There's full physical hard drives in this thing, and there's a solid state drive which is in a different area. So that's pretty close to being accurate. Also, in 2010 I added those 2 USB ports and a firewire next to it, 1394 firewire. Same year I also redone the side panel with this nice humongous side panel here. I always wanted a nice giant window with a 120mm fan. Get plenty of airflow. But there's one thing you can't see right now. That would be the latest upgrade I've done to this thing. It's half and half between the upgrade and just simple maintenance. Anyways, the old USB ports that are original to this thing that were inside this door were getting worn out because after 8 years of constant plugging and unplugging USB devices, those things do wear out. The left USB port was not even making a good connection anymore with the cords and flash drives and things like that, and then needed to get it replaced. The one on the right was still somewhat working. Another annoyance was the audio jacks were pinned out for AC97. Had to modify them just a little bit to make them work with HD audio. So the audio jacks were definitely out of date and needed to be upgraded. So I did just that. And it wasn't the easiest thing. It did require a good bit of, I'd say, redneck computer engineering. The hot glue gun, the needlenose pliers, the dikes, those kinds of things. Hardcore modifications. But I think I've done pretty good with this. So not only did we get new USB ports and new audio jacks, we got a little something more. Now, as I mentioned, this case really needed a good modernization to bring it up to the times. Of course, we did get HD audio, which, yes, this light is about dead. There's your HD audio jacks for your headphone and your microphone. And look, those USB ports, they're blue. That means one thing. They're USB 3.0. Yep, this motherboard had a header for a USB 3.0. Motherboard's been this thing for like, 3 years. Never really got to use the USB 3.0 headers on it because I didn't have any spots available in the back to put them in. Besides, I eventually wanted USB 3.0 jacks on the front of this thing because, like this Lexar flash drive, it is USB 3.0. And I figured I'd be getting some USB 3 jack, USB 3 devices over time, so it was a smart idea to go ahead and put them in. What I did here was, this ASRock motherboard came with the USB header and ports. They were intended to be used in either a 3.5 millimeter slot to go like where this card reader's at, or into an expansion slot on the back, which I didn't really like those two options. I wasn't going to give up my card reader. And you see the floppy drive is still there. It does get used once in a while. Besides, when it does get time for this floppy drive to go, it's going to require more modification to cut that floppy disk thing out of the way so I can put an actual, I'll probably put a card reader or something in its place. Anyways, back down here. The motherboard came with the USB 3.0 jacks that required a good bit of modification to make them work here. Because initially the whole assembly was way too big to fit that in. So to start this off, I used my needlenose pliers to carefully pry out all the old plastic. I took out the little PCB that the old USB ports and audio jacks were attached to, pulled that out, and then carefully trimmed away all the plastic at the bottom of this thing, making sure I left the little studs in there for this door, because I did not want to lose this little door. See, original cover is still intact. I may have to get a Sharpie and write SS and the 3.0 in there because these are in fact 3.0. And I did sort of a similar thing with the audio jacks. Audio jacks were pulled from an older part system case, and again they were too big to fit in there with the housing, so the housing got completely torn off, and all this got hot glued into place. So we got a nice little we got some ventilation here too, because when this door's open, there's nothing there to block air from getting sucked into the fans that cool the hard drives. So it looks a little crazy, but hey, it's a modernization. So we basically brought a 2007 case and sort of modernized it to be more compliant with today's connections. We don't have eSATA up front. That might be something for the future. But yeah, well, at least we do have our USB 3.0s and our audio jacks. So not too bad. Yeah, not bad at all. So guys, that would be the latest modification I've done to the MTDX case to bring it up to the times. So we have the MTDX officially now has the USB 3.0 and high definition audio jacks, which the audio quality wouldn't sound any different, but the newer jacks do have sense capabilities and other things like that, so it was a good idea to get those swapped out, that way they would function as intended with an HD audio setup. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask them. Thanks for watching.